Hi and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your lovely birthday messages you left me. I really appreciated them. I have read them all, but I will get round to answering everybody's comments, so I really appreciate that. I had a lovely day, and yeah, I can't wait to do the draw and see who gets that beautiful book and lots of bits and pieces. Alright, today I am going to join in with Dotty Bee's What is Slow Stitch. Now, I've never formally done any sort of, what do you call it, not learning but or training, but I've never sort of just put down the basics of slow stitching. And in the past videos that I have done, it's all been just trial and error and whatever turns out. So if you want to, Dotty Bee, this is my book that I've made, I'll show you in a minute. Dotty Bee Vintage, that is her name on YouTube, and she's put part 1 out of What is Slow Stitch, and her first part goes over all the things that you need, and the first stitch is running stitch. And she's also on Facebook, which is called Dotty Bee's Slow Stitching, and you can pop over there and join that group too. And yeah, so what I'll have the links to that video below, because she shows you how to set it all up and whatever. Now, she's made quite a small little book. I just wanted to use some of the doilies that I had. I've got so many of them, and so I put together a little book, but I haven't sewn the spine yet. I think I'll do that last. She shows you can do either way. You can do it last or first or whatever. So yeah, pop over and look at all her instructions, because they are what is going on. I can't tell it the same way she does, and she has some beautiful stitching things that she'll show you at the beginning. Alright, so my book, I spent my birthday stitching the cover, which is just called What is Slow Stitch, and this is just a doily. They're all doilies, but this one was quite big, and what I did was just I tore it down to fit my book, and I just did some running stitch around what was already there. I stitched the word in, put on a button, and then I found that the edges weren't quite long enough. So the pieces I tore off, I sewed back on, just with a hand stitch, a running stitch, and yeah, so to make it into the size that I needed. So that's my cover. So I'll just show you my pages, and my camera's going to hate it because it'll all be stark colour, but they're all different doilies. I'll leave a space here, and hopefully the camera will behave itself. But they're just all doilies, either cream or white. Some of them I've torn down the edge so that they would fit. This one was the one Michelle gave me at Christmas time, so some of them I know where they've come and who's given them to me or where I've collected them. This one's gorgeous, and I'm just going to sew over the top of them, whatever's happening on that day. So that's the middle, and then it just repeats itself on the other side. So they are my pages, and I just love it, and we'll see what comes about on each page and how to sort of decorate it. So we'll get to the front one. Now what I'm going to do is just put the rest of the book aside and just work on this half. I've ironed them all in half, and I'll put the cover aside too. So I've ironed them all in half, and then I'm just going to fill in that half. Okay, I've got a disappearing pen here, and I'm just going to mark the middle so I know where not to sort of sew on. Now for my threads, she's given you a list of threads you can use, all sorts of stranded threads, pearl threads, all that sort of stuff. But I'm a little bit out there with what I do. I don't like to stick to the norm. So here are my threads. Now, if you've seen some of my past projects, I love to use different fibers and all sorts of things. So on this one, it's running stitch, which is just a simple in and out stitch, but I'm going to try all these bits and pieces on my running stitch, and I think that's going to be really fun. So let's get started, and I've got different sized needles here. I don't know all the needles names, and sometimes I feel like I don't care what their name is as long as it fits and goes through the fabric. I'm a little bit like that. So I've just got different needles here, and I'll just suit whatever I'm trying to push through the fabric. But sort of the rule of thumb is, you know, the width of your thread, if it's similar to your needle width, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. That's what I sort of think, and if it fits through the eye. But look, if you want to know all the details, pop over to Dotty Bee's channel and check all that out. I really highly recommend you do that. Alright, so I've got all sorts of bits and pieces in here, all sorts of beautiful bits and pieces. I'm not sure which way to put it on my thing. A lot of it I have found at the Opshops, and it's just exciting to get in here and use it. So I think to start with, I'll do the regular types of cottons. You know, I've got a pearl cotton there. I've got two different size wool cottons. This one's also a wool cotton, or it might be no, it might be something else. I don't think that one's wool, but anyway, these two are wool. This one is I've got to think now, a rayon. This one's a beautiful rayon, and I've got some abroda. This is just a crochet cotton, a larger crochet cotton, and then I've got some, these were gifted to me. These were homemade threads, just made with cotton, all different colored cottons. Isn't it pretty? So pretty. I appreciate the lady who gifted me that. I found this one at the Opshop. This one was gifted to me too, a whole lot of sparkly ones. And then I've got other sort of fibers that I've found from the Opshop. So we'll start with some of the smaller regular type threads, and we'll do some running stitches with them, and go from there. So the stranded, this is a stranded cotton. I found a whole thing of different colors, probably half a dozen or more different colors, all on these cones, and they're all the 6 stranded thread, which was just amazing. So let's start with that. And I've also got my little jar of thread bits that I put all my scraps in, and we'll just go from there and have some fun. So I just I wanted to join in on this because now I don't know whether to separate this or do it together, but you can see the six strands there. So let's just do it all together. And go from there with it. Now, if you don't know how to, I think this is how you do a quilter's knot. You put your thread over the needle, and then you wrap it around 3 times, I think, or 2 times, and then you pull it through, and that gives you a perfect little knot. And you know, I don't mind looking at the knots. Put my scrap in there, and then we'll go ahead, and I'm not going to rule any lines. I don't really want them to be straight or anything. I might go this way and that way, just however it turns out. Right, my next one is just going to be a pearl cotton, and this one's a fairly thin pearl cotton. I'm not sure what size it is, but again, it was something that I found at the Opshops. I don't want to pull it too tight either. I don't want it to pucker. So use thread scraps, you go in there. Now, what next? I think we might do some of this pretty broder, and it's a lot thicker. If I can find the end. No idea where the end is. I've never really used a broder thread before. And there it is. So the broder thread is all in one strand as well, so we have to go to a bigger needle again. Right, that's my broder done. Nice. You go over there, put all the bits over that I've done. Now I might go on and do some wool. Now this, I might do this one. Now this is punch. I found all these at the Opshop too. A whole colour range of them, and they were used as punch needle thread. And in my thread jar, that's another one down. Now I'll go on to some wool thread. I think I won't use that wool thread because that's similar size to this one. This is a thicker wool thread, so let's give that a go. Let's go on to a different type of thread. This is just a variegated crochet cotton, and I picked these up in my recent Opshop haul, and so I thought I will give that a go on here because I like the size of it. I like to use a thicker type of thread for stalks when I'm doing flowers, yeah, leaves and flowers and all that sort of thing. Okay, my next stitch is going to be, well, my next thread is going to be this rayon, which is quite slippery, and a lot of people say they find it hard to work with, but let's give that a go. Right, now my next thread that I want to try is this variegated one. I just bought it from Temu, I think it was, and it's just a cotton, I think, but I just love it. It would be just a really just go-to, you know, variegated one to use on anything, I think, and we'll see what that looks like too. Right, let's have a go at this homemade thread that somebody gifted me, and I've had a few lovely gifts in the past. thoughtful ones. Right, my next one is going to be just this beautiful variegated one, and I think this is a rayon as well, but it's quite thin, so I might double it up. Isn't this looking pretty? All different types of thread. So what I might do, I might just continue going down because I really like the look of that. And now I'm going to add some of this really glitter thread. I don't know what it is. It's a Gutermann, is that how you say it? Gutermann brand, and I got it from Lincraft for 50 cents a roll. They had it on sale and I just love it. So it's quite thin, but I would actually, when I use it, I would probably use it with something else. And my last fine thread is this one. It's even finer, but it's gorgeous and sparkly. And this was the one I was gifted, and there was quite a few in the like colour variations in that as well. Right, we've done our really fine thread, and it's just looking so pretty, all sorts of different colours. Now I want to go on to a few metallics. I found this gorgeous metallic. It says crochet cotton number 20, and I used this on my husband and my needle roll, and I used this to embroider the word needle roll, and then I used this one to couch over it. Alright, my next thread is going to be this one. This is another type of crochet or knitting type thread, and I've loved using this one on things. So looking pretty. Now I've got some gold here. This is just a regular sort of gold knitting thread that you get. It's nothing special, but it's sort of quite, it compacts down, which is interesting, so it should sew fairly easily, I'm guessing. Right, my next thread is this. I wanted to try Glitterati. It's from Vera, Moda Vera, and it's 55% cotton, 35% metallic, and 10% polyester. So there's a mix of stuff there. That's looking so pretty. Right, my next thread that I have is this that I found. Madeira Fabulara, and it is viscose, 80% viscose and 20% polyester, and it's a bit like this stuff. It's squishes down a lot. I don't know if that's a word. It's sort of like a tube, you know. Okay, so that is the shinies done, I think. That I'll, oh, hang on, there's one more here that could be interesting. Now, let me, where did I put that needle again? There's this one. I found this at the Opshop. Isn't it fun? It's got like peacock colours as well. It's a little bit hard to see on camera, but it is just beautiful. Okay, that was an interesting one to stitch with. Probably something that in the future I would couch down, because you've got all these hairy things, of course, but it's fun to experiment and see how it all works. Right, my next threads. Now, I got given this beautiful thread from Nat here on YouTube, and I want to include that on there because it's just amazing. I love it. And let's get and I have sewn with this one before, so I know how it's going to act on fabric. Now, this one's a bit hard to see on camera because it is sort of creamy white on cream, but it's really soft and it's come up really pretty. Right, my next thread I think I'll try is a chenille. Now, I got this chenille in my last Opshop crawl. Yeah, my crawl. My last Opshop haul, and I really like the chenille threads. So that's my chenille thread down, which is quite nice. There's another, there was this glittery one too, and I want to do this one that's a bit fluffy. Well, let's do this one. This is really, really soft. I don't know what it is. It's beautiful, but now that didn't quite slip through like butter, but but it was interesting. Right, I want to put a piece of this on, which is just a some type of tinsel, and I bought it from Spotlight, and I love putting that on Christmas things, so we've got to give that a go too. So this is what we've got down so far. And it's filling up the page beautiful. Okay, my next thread is some of this round ribbon. Now, this is all stuff that I've found in the Opshops. It's what colour will I use? Let's bring some more pink in. And it's quite pretty. It's really, really thin, flat ribbon. And gosh, excuse me, I've just had lunch and everything. So we'll find a needle for that. Alright, my next one is very similar to the rayon ribbon. Okay, this is a lot thinner and a lot like lighter and finer, but this one here is, you can see the difference in them. I'm pretty sure it's some sort of rayon as well, but I bought this one off Temu, and I've got a couple of different colors of this, and it's quite pretty. I want to get some more colors of it as well. So let's this one was called I think this one may have been called rayon or nylon or ribbon or something like that. I can't remember, but it was quite pretty. My next thread is this one, and it's it was Italian. It was in my last Opshop haul, and it's like it's a flat ribbon as well. And let's see if I can find where I put it. I got two different colours of it, and it said it was made in Italy, and it's quite pretty. So I thought I would include that on there because I've got two big balls of it, and I wanted to see how it sewed as well. Right, that's that one. My next one is which will I do? I wanted to try this. It's just a fibre, some sort of fibre, but I wanted to just try a couple of different fibres and see how they went on here as well. So we'll try them. I've got some others here on a card, and we'll give them a go. I really like that. That's really different. You know, if I want to get those just different sort of stitches happening. Alright, what else on this fibre sheet can I do? Well, we've sort of done some hairy ones, haven't we? We haven't done any eyelash one. Where are you? Okay. Let's do an eyelash one. So how fun is that one? That one came out so fun. I mean, all these different threads would have their application in lots of different situations. So, yeah, that makes it really fun. All right, I think I'll try this one because this one is like a double, like it's a ribbon, but it's furry either side, and I really like that. I've got a few different colours in that, especially greens, and I sort of wondered how that would go on used as leaves and things like that. That's another fun one. I love how that's turned out, and like I said, it would have its application in different situations that would be so pretty on stitching. Right, I might try this one just for lols, you know. Just to see how it stitches. Alright, my next one, I think I'm finished with all those fibres. I wanted to do this one. This I've got this in a different couple of different colours too. It's just a wide ribbon type fibre. I have no idea what it is. Now with this thread, I'm going to try one of these needles that have the what are they called? They're wool needles, and they've got this fishing line loop. I'm going to try that because it's got a pretty big shaft on it, and I'll just see how it will. I know it will go through that hole because I made that hole earlier, but let's just see how that goes. I mean, there's no rules, is there? If it works for you, it works for you. Alright, I've only got a few more that I want to do, and one of them was this, and it's another flat type of ribbon fibre as well, and I found quite a few balls of this colour and yellow in this, and I know I use this for junk journaling and putting on what do you call it, putting on bookmarks and things like that, because it's flat, it goes well in a junk journal. But why can't I use it in something else? You know? Alright, they're pretty unconventional threads, I must say that, but I've enjoyed giving them a go. Now, I also found this at the Opshop, and it doesn't feel like silk, but it looks like silk ribbon. Right, I've got two more that I want to try. One is some seam binding, and it's just in white, so that's just regular seam binding, which is 100% rayon. And junk journals love seam binding, so they can dye and all that sort of stuff, and I have used seam binding before to dye my own seam binding and do leaves with it. Okay, now we're on to our last one, and for our last row I'm going to use this nylon knitting yarn, and this is the type of stuff that years ago people would use on their coat hangers, and I thought this could look really, we're not utilizing this enough. There's fibers out there that we could be using a lot more in our work, and I've collected up all the different colors of this stuff except for a bright yellow. I'm still on the hunt for a bright yellow, and I've used this making little flowers and stitching, and I think it looks great in your work. I've got more little bits and pieces in my jar. The lid on that, and then that is my page done. Isn't it beautiful? And there's all sorts of fibers on here, from the usual stranded cotton, pearl cottons, abroda, wool cottons, just all sorts of rayons mixed, these little fine little sparkly cottons, and down to thicker cottons, and then little fluffy ones, and the Chanel and the tinsel and then the round ribbons, and all sorts of little fibery bits and pieces here, and then these flat fibers, and then I've got the seam binding, and then this last one, which is this nylon knitting yarn. I just love how this page has turned out. So this is my page finished, and this is running stitch and done with all different types of thread. I just love it. And now what I'm going to do, Dotty Bee put a pocket on the back of hers, but I don't want to put a pocket. I want to, I'm going to use the threads and a crochet hook, and all the threads that I'll just stack them back in this tub as I do it, I think. And what I'm going to do is, oh, there's another needle. I wondered where that went. Where's my... Okay, and I'm going to take a piece of the thread that I used on all of these. This was the stranded, and I am going to just get my crochet hook. I might need a smaller one. Let's see, I've got a few just old ones in here. Okay, and I'm going to put that under one of the stitches at the back and connect my thread like that. So then I can feel what that thread's like, and then it can hang off the back. So let's go through and we'll just go and get a piece of everything that I used, and we'll do that to it. Just connect it at the back. Alright, so this is my page 1 done, and this is what I wanted to do on the back. Instead of a pocket, I just wanted to add the fibers to the back there. Okay, have I missed one? Yeah, I've missed one. It was this one. I thought I put that on. Oh, I did. I put it over here because I ran out of space. So I just went down there and then down here. And that is just so that the purpose of doing this for me was so that I can see how these fibers stitch onto fabric. And I know the purpose of Dotty Bee's thing was just all running stitch and learning running stitch. Well, you know, it's an easy stitch, but I thought, well, why not put fibers down that I could potentially sew with and see how they act and see how they look on fabric. And then at the back of this page, I've just added a piece of that fiber just so I can touch it and and know what it looked like before I actually sewed with it. Because, like, say for instance this one, it's quite fluffy and beautiful, but when you sew with it, it'll all sit together unless you pucker it up. And in the same with some of these other ones, you know, they'll sit down more unless you like pucker the stitches up and get those fibers all fluffed out. So I really like this idea. I'm really happy with the page. This is page 1 of Dotty Bee's What is Slow Stitching, and I hope you've enjoyed watching what I've done and the idea that I've put in place for mine. Mine's going to be like a a learning book, like what is slow stitching, plus it's going to be like a bit of a reference book of you know, fibers and things that I can use. Right, so I'll have the links below to Dotty Bee Vintage, her YouTube channel, and the first page that she has on this. I think she's bringing one out every week. Not sure what the next one is. I don't think she said, or I might not have watched right to the end. And yeah, so this will go in my book. I'll just put the first page together, but this will, I won't put the book together until I'm finished. I think I decided that when I started the cover. Okay, so that is my cover, and that is my first page. Beautiful. Alright, this line that I drew up here, I'll put the iron on that and get rid of that, and that will be ready then for the next page next week, which will be this beautiful one. So I'm not sure what we'll be putting on that, but it'll be sitting there all ready to go. Alright, if you're new here, I'd love it if you'd like, share and subscribe. Press that bell button for notifications. Pop over and look at all the links that I've put below for this project, and you can pop over to Dotty Bee's Facebook group too, and they are posting pictures at the moment of their makes and of their little books. And I will see you soon for a new video. Thanks for watching and take care. Bye.